Welcome to Guns, Guns, Gear, and Guns with Gary Gunderson. I am Gary Gunderson. Currently, Kamala Harris answers any questions about guns with a canned and memorized response, which we can see in a recent local news interview where she was asked about her position on guns. It's not anything particularly new, other than the newly debuted line at the debate about being a gun owner, but let's break down her statement.
When we talk about crime, the conversation turns to gun safety as well. And I think you actually probably caught a lot of people off guard, maybe a bit by surprise in the debate the other night when you mentioned that you are a gun owner. I know you said it in 2019 as well. I want to talk about your values on this issue. When it comes to gun ownership, where do you draw the line in America on gun ownership and gun use?
Well, like you said, Brian, I am a gun owner, and Tim Walz, my running mate, is also a gun owner.
She starts out with an appeal to her authority on the issue that because she owns a gun, she can't possibly be against guns. This is, of course, false. We know from previous interviews she owns a pistol specifically for self-protection.
I own a gun for probably the reason that a lot of people do, for personal safety.
Yet in 2008, she signed a brief that was against the Heller Supreme Court decision, which found that you have a personal right to keep arms and overturned a complete handgun ban in Washington, D.C. I have not heard her state when she acquired her personal firearm, but at one point in her career, she at least supported a complete ban on guns in local jurisdictions, though I am certain she would exempt herself with a personal security detail.
We're not taking anybody's guns away. I support the Second Amendment, and I support reasonable gun safety laws.
Next, she tries to reassure gun owners that due to her being a fellow firearm enthusiast, she would not take away your firearms. She supports the Second Amendment and is not taking away anyone's guns, despite the fact she has spoken in favor of mandatory buybacks in the past.
And it's something I'm so passionate about and so looking forward to being president to address. We've got to deal with this.
How mandatory is your gun buyback program?
It's mandatory.
Second Amendment?
The Second Amendment, listen, we're going to have to do it the right way. There's no question about that. But we don't have any, we have to get these guns off the street.
Which is taking guns away.
Part of my approach to this is I was a career prosecutor for most of my career. I have personally prosecuted homicide cases. I have personally looked at autopsies. I have personally seen what assault weapons do to the human body.
Again, standard talking point for her, highlighting that she is an expert and knows better than you. We all know what firearms do. Seeing autopsy photos and prosecuting homicide cases should be irrelevant to your views on the Second Amendment. The appeal to authority does not work on issues regarding rights because your expertise should not impact how you view and treat rights. The fact she brings that up means she does not really support firearms rights, clearly.
And so I feel very strongly that it is consistent with the Second Amendment and your right to own a gun to also say we need an assault weapons ban. They're literally tools of war. They were literally designed to kill a lot of human beings quickly.
And there you go. Now that she has established her credentials, she makes a determination that the Second Amendment does not encompass the most commonly sold rifle in the United States today. Her view is clearly inconsistent with the Second Amendment and the recent Bruin decision at the Supreme Court level. I would be interested to hear her thoughts on what is and is not a tool of war. If you zoom out from specific models and look at different types of firearms, every type of firearm has been used in war in some capacity at some point in history. Also, she claims she will not take away anyone's guns, but there are millions upon millions of what she would call tools of war already in the hands of Americans. I question what good her assault weapon ban would do if she did not take away guns, and it would go even worse if she tried.
I say we need universal background checks. The majority of NRA members support that. Why? Because it's just reasonable. You just might want to know before someone can buy a lethal weapon if they've been found by a court to be a danger to themselves or others. You just might want to know.
If you could trust the government, if it were run by angels, say, universal background checks probably would be fine. But given it's not, as the quote goes, we must oblige government to control itself. And why would we trust someone who already said she has experience going door to door for firearms when proposing a universal background check system, which would be a de facto gun registry, and she says these are weapons of war that don't belong on the streets?
To say, look, we can all debate our differences around, various policies, but let's stop with the division. Like, enough of that. Let's bring everybody together.
It's a nice platitude, but unlikely given her positions are divisive to at least half the populace. And frankly, I don't believe her. That's all for today, just a quick video. I keep seeing the same quote from her over and over, so I wanted to specifically address them and break down what she is saying. If you've made it to the end of the video, please consider supporting me on Patreon. You can join our Discord. And if not that, at least like the video, share it, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I have some other videos in the works coming up soon, which I think you will all enjoy. Thanks for watching.